Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you've never been here before, which wouldn't surprise me. My name is Shelby, and today I'm going to be trying out the new Pretty Fresh foundation by Colourpop. I actually was meaning to post this video last week, so this is going to be more like my second impression of this foundation. Which the first one was good, but now the second may be even better because now I know what I want to do with this foundation to make it the best it can be. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I'm bringing you guys in a little closer, I'm removing my spectacles, and I'm throwing the packaging away. The packaging is cute, it looks like this. Sorry, I forgot I already filmed this. I gotta do this all over again. It's the cute, peachy colored, dainty little packaging that all the Pretty Fresh collection items come in. All right, and now it's trash. So the foundation looks like this. The bottle is plastic, not glass, but they did a really good job of making it seem like it's glass. I got the shade Light 45W. Colourpop did make a chart. They posted a chart on their Instagram that you could find what color you are in the Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer and then what color you should be for the foundation. But the color I am for the tinted moisturizer is Light 8N, which they did not have a match for. So I had to guess, and this is the shade I went with. I did try it out the other day and it does match pretty good. It oxidizes just a little bit, gets slightly darker, but not too bad. Along with the tinted moisturizer I already bought and the new foundation that I've just purchased, I also own the Pretty Fresh concealer. I use the shade Fair 10N, and I have the primer, but I'm not gonna use the primer today for the foundation. That's what I did for my first video. I noticed that I could see my pores a little bit more than I usually do. I usually use the tinted moisturizer. I don't even use a full coverage foundation, but I noticed I could see my pores a little bit more throughout the day. And so I think instead of using the Pretty Fresh primer, I'm gonna be going in with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer today. I'm gonna start by clipping my hair back, getting it out of my face. Eyebrows are looking a little furry today. I have the longest, weirdest eyebrow hairs I've ever seen. I don't know. They grow so long. I swear if I didn't pluck them, they would just grow down to my feet. And I would just have, like, my eyebrows would make me look like Cousin It or something. So before I start my makeup, I like to apply a hydrating lip product to my lips. Today I'm using the Mentha Lip Shine from, I got this from Bath & Body Works. I like to use this. It gets my lips ready for lipstick by the time I am done applying my makeup. All right, so I've already moisturized my face. It's ready. I'm just gonna go straight in with primer. Okay, I'm gonna let that primer dry for a second while I talk about the Pretty Fresh collection. The tinted moisturizer is actually the first product I ever bought from Colourpop. I was a little late. I loved it so much. Basically, the Pretty Fresh collection that Colourpop has thrown out there into the world is a set of hydrating complexion products. I love it, all except the primer I think is almost too hydrating for me. I think that come winter time, when my skin is really dry, I'm gonna like it a lot more, but for summertime, it's like, it's not really hard to get that dewy effect, so. But there is hyaluronic acid in each of the Pretty Fresh products, which I love. Hyaluronic acid is really good for plumping your skin and kind of hiding and filling out the fine lines that you may have in your skin that we all have. So that primer is feeling good. I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I just cleaned all my brushes the other day, so they're all nice and soft. Just gonna take a couple pumps of the foundation onto my hand, and I'm just gonna go straight in with the brush. Now I am used to light coverage products on my face, like because I have a lot of freckles and I don't actually like to cover them up. I don't mind them peeking through. So usually I'll just go in with a lighter coverage complexion product and just spot conceal any spots like this guy I may have on my face. But this product, well, that being said, to me this product is pretty full coverage. It's obviously not an actual true full coverage product. You can still see a little bit of my skin poke through, but a lot less than what I'm used to. This is a pretty good foundation to use if I'm wanting to go out, if I'm really wanting that full makeup look. That's the coverage I got from just a brush. It's looking good. I'm gonna go back in now with my sponge, my dampened sponge, to blend out my complexion. I just feel like anytime I use a brush, I can see like the little streak marks, the little brush strokes in there. I just like the texture that the sponge leaves on my face a lot better. Blending that out in the edges here so I don't have any harsh color changes. It does match pretty good, but once it's dried, it does oxidize and darken just a hair. So I wanted to make sure and get it really blended to the edges of my face. Okay, so that is looking good. Overall, I am liking the finish of this product. It looks really good. It looks like my skin, it's glowy, but it's not too like in your face, like I just got done running a mile glowy. So now I'm going to go in with my Pretty Fresh concealer and just get my under eyes, a little bit of my chin, little bit of my nose, center of my forehead, which is luckily right where I need to cover up a blemish. So that worked out. I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques crease brush. I like to use this for my concealer. Going over my eyelids a little bit. I'm sorry if you hear any background noise. It is like raining off and on today. And I didn't want to wait for the rain to stop to film because I'm kind of on a time crunch. So I know this is looking a little crazy right now. I would just like to blend it out with my brush. And then I go back over it with a sponge to really help it melt into the foundation. Also, this concealer is just a tad too light for me, but I make do. Okay, so now I have it blended out with a brush. I'm gonna go in with my littler sponge, and I'm just gonna tap it all in. I will say that the Pretty Fresh concealer sits on top of this foundation a lot better than it sits on top of the tinted moisturizer. I found that over the moisturizer, this concealer looks a little bit more drying and a little cakey, but over the foundation, it sits really well and it's really pretty. I can still use the concealer with the tinted moisturizer. I just typically have to go pretty light with it, so I can't always cover up things exactly how I want to. Also, since I did try this out once already, I found that it does transfer. I had to wear a mask all day at work, and you know, it's inevitable if you're wearing makeup with a mask over it, you're gonna get makeup all over your mask. So That was pretty. But it did kind of transfer even after I'd been wearing it for the first hour. I could kind of feel it on my skin. I could kind of see some of it coming off a little bit. So just be mindful of that. So I am gonna set it today. I'm using some e.l.f. HD powder. I believe it's the soft illuminating one. I like this powder, especially when I'm like using it to set a dewy type of complexion product, because it still leaves that radiance that I want. Okay, now that I have set my face, I'm going to go back in with my NYX HD finishing powder because I like the way this looks on my under eye better than that illuminating powder, just because it brightens a little bit more and it doesn't have glitter in it to illuminate my under eye. So buffing out any creasing that has occurred, because yes, I had a little bit of creasing under my eye, but that's typical for me with pretty much any product I use, so not tripping. Just gonna go in and set my under eye really good and bringing it down a little bit anywhere where I have concealer. Okay, so it's looking good. There's not really any dry patches or anything that it's clinging onto. I will say that the first time I used this, it was looking pretty weird up by where my baby hairs start. Granted, I have a lot of little baby hairs that like to grow too far on my forehead, so I'm just gonna extra buff that out and make sure those guys are good, you know? I just want them to be good. Nobody really needs to be like fixating themselves on how many baby hairs I have right here. And this foundation is gonna make people wanna do that. That's probably as good as I'm gonna get. It just sits a little weird anywhere you have hairs or even a little bit of peach fuzz. But like I said, I'm not used to fuller coverage products. I do think that with this foundation, it's more like a little goes a long way. I don't think you need to put too thick of a layer on. Although the coverage is definitely blendable, I think you're good with just a lighter layer and the lighter coverage. So if you're looking for a full coverage product and you want something that you can build up pretty high without it looking like too much makeup, I wouldn't necessarily suggest this. However, I do like the finish a lot. So if you're somebody who likes a medium to lighter coverage, it's a really good foundation. It's just not there for that full extreme coverage. So now I'm just going in with a little bit of bronzer just to kind of add some life back to my face. I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It smells good. I don't know why it smells good, but it does. It smells like coconuts. It's a little strong. If you don't like fragrance, it's yeah. That's another thing about the Pretty Fresh primer actually, is that the smell also smells like coconuts, is pretty strong. It goes away once it's on and dry and stuff, but while you're putting it on, it's a lot of fragrance. So if that's something that you are not into, you may skip the primer altogether. You gotta do this when you don't have that cut jawline. A little bit of a little bit of you know, create that illusion of, no, I don't have a double chin. Why would you think that about me? You know? all good. It's all good. A little bit on my nose here. Love a little nose contour. Okay, so now that I am lightly bronzed and sun-kissed, I am going to go in with my flower blush here in the shade, it's a flower pot blush, in the shade Peach Primrose. This is a nice affordable product and the blushes are really good. It's about the only thing I've used from this brand, but I really like the blushes. So, just gonna warm up my cheeks. As you can tell, powder products are going over this foundation very well. It's really easy to blend out. It's not trying to like stick to them and make them stay in one spot. Very easy. And it looks good. Let me bring this in just a little bit. A little swoop over my nose. Looking cute. Okay. Alright, so that's it as far as my complexion goes. I'm gonna go and finish this look. Fill in my eyebrows a little bit. Get an eye look going on here for you. And I'll be right back. I'll show you in natural light the finish of this foundation and give you some final thoughts and tell you to subscribe again and all that fun stuff. See ya. Okay guys, so this is the final look. It is raining. It's like sprinkling, but you get it. This is a complexion in natural light. I think it looks really good, although my hair doesn't. But yeah guys, this is the product. I like it. Like I said, I recommend it as long as you're not somebody who's looking for super full coverage. I think it's great. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and stay tuned because in my next video, I think I'm gonna be doing a little giveaway. So make sure you hit that bell notification button when you subscribe. Thank you guys.